Heat are in some trouble here, aren't they?
They're in a world of trouble. There's no question about it. Obviously, they didn't have Gabe Vincent last night, who obviously has played exceptionally well in this series. But you got to take into account your starting backcourt, Kyle Lowry and Max Strus combined to score 8 points on 3 of 10 shooting. That ain't going to get it done, but that's not their real problem. When you look at how Boston has intensified their defense, particularly in closeout games, their defense elevates to another level. I think they're giving up like 100.3 points per game in terms of per 100 possessions. That is elite defense, make no mistake about it. And then you take into account, you got Marcus Smart, you got Derek White, you got Jaylen Brown, combining to score 68 points on 68% shooting from 3, on 58% shooting from the field. They are coming because their backs are against the wall, and in closeout games over the last 2 seasons, they're 7-1. Mm-hmm. The only time they lost was in the finals to the Golden State Warriors. I don't see Steph Curry on the Miami Heat. Mm-hmm. I don't see Klay Thompson on the Miami Heat. I don't see anybody like that. They're going to probably go through the Bam Adebayo and get him involved because he's had his way with Boston when they make him a focus offensively in Miami. But they are in a world of trouble. Game 6 is an absolute must-win. The pressure is all on the Miami Heat when you consider the fact that 149 people have tried. 149 teams have failed to overcome an 0-3 deficit.
Yeah.
And for Miami to be in a position where they're up 3-0, clearly when it was against a better Boston team, top to bottom talent-wise, you put yourself in that position and then you go to South Beach tomorrow night. You lose that game. You got to come back to face Jason Tatum in a Game 7 in Boston. Good luck with that. The Miami Heat have to win Game 6 tomorrow night in South Beach. I wish I wasn't so busy because I'd fly there.
I know, I'm with you. Stephen A. is still hoping that's where we'll spend the next couple of weeks,
yes.
one way or the other.
Yes, it is.
But here's the thing. When we had our series that also went to 3-0.
Yeah.
And I think our feeling was all, look, the Lakers are just losing to a better team. The Nuggets are just better than they are. The Lakers fought like hell, and they just got beat by a better team. This one never made sense to me because the Celtics are the better team. And as Legler keeps saying this morning with me, they're not hurt. Sometimes when the better team gets a bunch of injuries, they fall behind. So it feels to me like order is being restored here. How do you explain the Celtics, to your point, only seeming to rise when their backs are against the wall?
Well, the fact of the matter is that, for the first 3 games or so, Missoula spent the time getting out coached by Eric Spoelstra before he really intensified and elevated their level of defense to offset what Spoelstra was throwing at them. They have problems periodically or sporadically rather with the zone that Spoelstra throws up in this. You got to take that in consideration. Jaylen Brown was not shooting the ball effectively. Marcus Smart appeared to be a shell of himself. Missoula, in my opinion, made a mistake when he kept starting Al Horford and kept bringing Rob Williams III off the bench and not making him an active component in things because of his ability to disrupt defensively. All of that went out the window over the last 2 games. The Boston Celtics, the reigning Eastern Conference champions, seem to have shown up and reminded everybody, wait a minute, this is how we win basketball games. Yeah, we got 2 stars. Yeah, we got 2 dudes that can drop 40 on you in a blink of an eye. We got all of that, but what we really have is a collective roster that can go out there and shut you down. Think about this about the Boston Celtics, because people don't appreciate this enough. They don't really have to double you. Who can't guard? Malcolm Brogdon can guard. Marcus Smart can guard. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can guard. Al Horford and Robert Williams III. They can guard. Derek White can guard. They've got a team where they don't have to double you. They can be in your face and potentially lock you down. They could switch. It still doesn't matter. Most teams in the NBA really have to double you. Mm-hmm. Okay? They don't. And because they don't, it makes things very interesting now because Miami, again, we looked at them entering the series, and they have the inferior roster. Got a bunch of undrafted players, Caleb Martin, Strus, of course, guys like that, Gabe Vincent. You're looking at them saying, where the hell did these guys come from? And you found a way to make the most out of it. But there does come a point in time in the game of basketball where you're reminded of just who the hell you are. There are levels to this, and you're not on it. Boston has shown that over the last 2 games. Now Miami is going to be on their home court, and they've got an opportunity to say, oh, yes, we are those dudes. But if they don't, and they got to come back to Boston for a Game 7, all I could say is that they'll need our prayers.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.